Okay, so what I want to know then is, do you believe that women inherently do not have the ability to be loyal?
I think that as women in our woman ways and in that protection we live in camp victim. And in that we have no capacity to have integrity, character, loyalty, because we are in our extreme selfishness and self-centeredness and entitlement to go on the whim of our emotions or what we feel is missing without concern of another person. So it's not that we don't have the capacity to build that skill of loyalty or build that skill of integrity and character. It's what I've had to do. No, we don't have the capacity to be loyal because we are always going to go on the whim of our emotions and what we feel entitled to without concern for another, without empathy or how that's going to impact them.
Well, that sounds like a pretty doom and gloom message to the guys out here from a pro-marriage woman. So how do you
Yeah.
rectify or
I can understand that or see that perspective. It's good men are loyal and committed. So they find a way to navigate and that's what I teach good men. You need an education to be able to navigate these women ways. It's not meant to be doom or gloom or make women bad or wrong. It's understanding we are different. We are very different as women and men, and what men want to look to, and even men who are married, you want to look to, if your wife is open to looking at herself in any way of what I teach in these woman ways, you've hit the jackpot. And yes, she's still going to have her own limitations and weaknesses, but if she's willing to work on herself and change, then that's what you focus on. And you focus on the progress she's making, not the limitations or the weaknesses. But even for men who are married to women who are resistant, not going to take accountability, going to live in camp victim, they still love their wives. And they are still committed and want to do what it takes to make it work on their end. And that's a path that I teach for good men because good men are very loyal. They take their vows very seriously. Many good men have Christian values or other religious values and morals that guide them to stay in their marriage. So they need a path to be able to navigate and still be happy within themselves, still create a life for themselves in the face of a wife who isn't going to change. You know, I see a lot of videos out there. I don't watch a lot of them, but I see the titles because they show up in my feed. But a lot like all married women cheat and all married women are looking to leave. I don't subscribe to that messaging. That yes, are there married women who cheat and more than we probably ever would have imagined? Absolutely. But that is a common issue within marriage. And just because as women, we struggle with our loyalty and commitment and integrity and character doesn't mean that we can't overcome that within ourselves and build those skills. And it doesn't mean doom and gloom for a man who's married to a woman who's not going to change. It doesn't mean she's absolutely going to go out of the marriage, but that's a risk that we all take when we get married, whether we're a man or a woman.